Meghna. I'm a second year Masters of Development Practice student. For my summer field experience, I worked with Rainforest Alliance Guatemala to develop strategies for the commercialization of non-timber forest products from my biosphere reserve.
My name is Cameron Meyer Mueller, and I'm a second year medical student at the U. And this summer, I worked with David Bulwer's lab, focusing on cryptococcal meningitis in Uganda.
My name is Stephanie Van Dyke, and I am a student in the School of Public Health. I'm in my second year of the Maternal and Child Health Masters of Public Health program, and this summer I completed a global women's health project with a nonprofit organization in the Dominican Republic called the Bate Relief Alliance, and my work focused on menstrual health and hygiene education and increasing gender equity for girls in schools.
My name is Ankur Karmacharya. I am a second year student in the Masters of Development Practice program at the Humphrey School of Public Affairs. I worked on a project which was looking at how rural farming communities in Mizoram could become more resilient to climate change over the long run.
Hi everyone, this is Bill speaking. I'm a second year Master of Development Practice candidate. This year I worked with a community-based agritourism project based in Souss region of Morocco.
My name is Preetha and I'm a second year medical student. I spent the summer looking at a project characterizing barriers to breast cancer screening as well as cervical cancer screening in New Delhi, India.
My name is Elaine Mahmood. I am a second year Masters in Development student at the Humphrey School of Public Affairs. This year, I worked on a project focusing on community-based agritourism in rural Morocco.
Hi, my name is Hadi Hamid and I am a second year Master of Development Practice student at the Humphrey School of Public Affairs. This past summer, I worked for the Rural Tourism Development Association, or RDTR, to design a process of developing community-based agritourism in the Souss region of Morocco.
My name is Abby, and I'm a maternal and child health MPH student at the School of Public Health. I was part of a menstrual health education program, developing educational materials and evaluation surveys this summer.
My name is Ariel. I'm a second year Master of Development Practice student at the Humphrey School of Public Affairs. This summer, I work with a nonprofit organization called Global Mamas. The goal of the project was to develop resources and tools to help the organization to address evaluation needs.
My name is Paku King, and I'm a second year student at the Masters of Development Practice program at the Humphrey School. And this summer, I worked in a team of 3 to implement an evaluation-based project for a nonprofit in Ghana called Global Mamas. And the goal of our project was to develop resources and knowledge around how global mamas can improve their data collection system and be more aligned with global development standards.
My favorite part about this global health project was that I was able to do a deep dive into some global health work, and specifically women's and girls' global health work. The project on menstrual health education in the Dominican Republic really taught me the implications it has for gender equity and girls' education. I really enjoyed learning about that, and additionally, just being able to work with staff whose lives are centered in the global health world was really enriching and informative for me.
The best part of our summer experience was developing various means of communications. The software made us to communicate with each other not only about work, but only about our personal lives. And as we all know, we were all in Minneapolis, and this summer it was a very hard summer for us. It was emotionally very difficult summer, but having that system of support that's always there for each other was the greatest experience.
Over the course of the summer, our project was disrupted on multiple instances, which was mainly to do with the situation of COVID on the ground in Mizoram. So we had to navigate these disruptions and figure out a way to still take the project forward, which when I look back at it was, I think, one of the most enjoyable part, although challenging.
I was part of a project developing educational materials for menstrual health for middle school aged girls and boys. And one thing that I learned from the fellowship program was strategies to really make the most out of virtual collaborations when in-person travel isn't possible. And I really learned that it's still valuable and important to be globally and interculturally engaged, no matter what kind of geographical or pandemic related boundaries and barriers might exist. And that there's still definitely value in that work.
One really important thing I've learned from this experience from the Judd Fellowship really is communication. Working on something and working with so many people and from so many different perspectives, it's don't ever really assume that what your way of thinking is the same as the other person, and take time and take the patience to really communicate your thoughts and communicate really like detailed thoughts about how you envision this project, how you envision it's going to continue on, and so that you all know that you're on the same page.
Throughout the summer, we worked very closely with our advisors, constantly assessing the situation, the responses we were getting from our clients, and readjusting directions based on what we were hearing from our advisors and client. Doing such a project in the midst of a pandemic and the entire experience over the summer taught me the importance of being agile, especially when doing development work in intercultural settings.
I think that this experience is definitely a first time in terms of doing a professional, like virtual project. It's really tested me in how to be creative when you're collaborating over the internet, like thinking about what platforms you can use to best present your ideas. And I am interested in doing more evaluation work, so working with domestic nonprofits and program evaluation and collecting data.
So while I'm not quite sure what I want to do, what I want to specialize in as a doctor, I do know that I want preventive health to be a cornerstone of my work. And this project this summer has really reinforced that once again, showing me that catching problems upstream not only prevents problems downstream, but if there is a problem that it's going to occur, it makes it more cost effective to treat and also gives people better outcomes. So I think I've gotten that larger framework from this project, as well as tangible skills as carrying out interviews and analyzing qualitative data, which has been really nice. But I think the big thing that I'm taking away and that I'm hoping to integrate into my practice is constantly thinking about how we can integrate preventive health into medicine.
I think the Judd Fellowship definitely deeply impacted my future. I am extremely interested in global health as a future career path, and I think this summer showed me how I could incorporate global health as a future physician. It showed me how I could stay in the U.S. and conduct research remotely, and it showed me the benefits of doing that and also the disadvantages of not being able to work in the field.